Okay, this is the June mini clinic with Mr. Jim Cerra, and he's going to be showing us how to make spoons with an Arbortech power carver. And this is a joint meeting between the New Jersey Woodturners and the Atlantic Shore Woodturners in South Jersey. So Jim, this is on you. Quick tour of your shop. Everybody wants to see a quick shop tour. And then we get into the bowl.
You want a shop tour?
Just a quickie. It's like 2 minutes.
Okay. All right, I'm coming in the door. Got drill press here, chop saw, bandsaw, wall of insanity.
Oh, hey, you got a beautiful wife there. My
grinder.
Goodness. Don't stop with the beautiful
Bunch of tools
wife.
on the wall.
My shop doesn't have one of those.
Wall of paint and miscellaneous hardware, etc. Got a belt sander here. Got an old Craftsman table saw, Craftsman joiner planer. And at the end, I have the my lathe shop, and I got a bowl that I'm working on.
Nice.
So I'm going to give the phone back to my wife, and maybe we can get this thing started.
All right, let's roll.
So if you can talk a little louder, Bob, I might be able to hear you, but I can barely hear you now.
Okay. So go. Start.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to go ahead, assuming that you guys can all hear me and see what I'm doing.
Yes,
So
we
anyway,
can.
I've been making spoons for 2 or 3 years now. And having an extended Italian family, I learned early on that the wooden spoon is the weapon of choice of all Italian mothers. So all the Italian mothers in my family are now outfitted with my spoons. This is one of the spoons that I made. And this is typical of the spoons that I usually make. This one has some coloring on the handle.
Hey, Jim. Jim.
I enjoy making the spoons, but the one part that I really wasn't crazy about was hollowing out the cavity in the spoon itself. I usually used carving tools, things like that. So I was down at the woodworkers show at the Meadowlands this winter, and I came across this guy that was demonstrating for Arbortech. Full disclosure, I have no connection with Arbortech. So he was using this gouge that he used to make hollows, and I thought that would be really good to make my bowls. So I had to persuade myself to spend $85, which I did, and I bought it. You can find it at Amazon. I think they sell for about 85 or 90 bucks. Not a cheap tool, but very, very useful. So anyway, what I did was I took it apart. There's 3 different pieces. This is the main part of the gouge. This is the cutting disc that gets attached to that. And this is the cover of the cutting disc. So I'm going to put it together now. Cutting disc goes on here. And then it goes on there. And screw goes inside. And they also provide you with this Allen wrench to tighten up the screw. And then what you do is you mount it on an angle grinder, 5/8 arbor. And we tighten it up with an adjustable wrench. Plug it in. Want to make sure you don't plug it in until you have it on. So now the important thing about this tool, are you close enough, dear? The important thing about this tool is the angle at which you approach the piece. If you do it straight up, it doesn't cut. So the recommendation is that you approach it at about a 30-degree angle. And you want to, you're not going to be able to hear anything when it's running, so I'll tell you what I would tell you when I'm running it. You don't want to try to take too much at one time, and I found that it's most efficient by going in circles. So I've got this spoon profile that I've drawn on a piece of cherry, and I'm going to start to hollow out the spoon. Here we go. So you can see how much I've hollowed it out. I'd spend about another minute or so and finish it up, and I can get most of these little kinks out, but it operates pretty well. So that's it, basically.
Okay.
Question.
Anybody have any questions? I don't know if I can hear you, though.
Yes. I have a question. Can you hear me? Can you hear
You
me?
there, Bob?
Yeah, but
Did we lose him?
go ahead. Hey, Tom, put it in the chat.
How do I do that?
Bob
I don't know how to
Root,
do
it
that.
looks
Okay,
like,
well, what's
it's
your
creating
question?
dust.
Well, my question is, it looks like it might be burning in some spots. It's like dark.
I just know.
Is it
I
burning?
can't, hang on. I can't hear you, Bob.
Hold on.
And also, how much pressure is he putting on? Because it looks like it's not taking it off very quickly.
Well, you know, it takes a couple of minutes to get through it. It doesn't take a lot at one time.
Okay. Uh-huh.
But if you're patient with it, it takes probably about 5 minutes to do it completely.
Uh-huh.
And then you have a pretty good surface, and then I finish it up with the little wavy discs on a angle sander.
Right. What is that called? Like that particular size? And
It's called a Arbortech ball gouge. If you go on Amazon, just type in Arbortech ball gouge. It'll bring you right to the
Okay.
purchase point.
Thank you.
All right. So it didn't look like there was any dust or chips.
There's some real fine chips.
Take your hand off the camera.
Your fingers on it.
Your fingers on the
I
camera.
got it close to my ear because I have trouble hearing you.
Yeah. Well, we can see your thumb. There you go.
So I'll give you, that's a close-up shot of it.
Okay.
I would refine the edges a little bit so that they go right up to the black line.
Right.
Are those dark spots burning?
A little bit.
Okay.
You've got to be careful not to press too hard. You want to let it cut by itself and not force it.
Okay.
Can you do a real close-up of the ball?
Sure.
Jim, can that be sharpened?
Now, if you'll notice, the shiny part in the middle, that's the cutting edge. And that cuts on both sides, not at the same time, but you can
Right.
take it off and you can reverse it so that it cuts on the other side. And I also found out that you can get replacement cutting discs. You can order them online.
They have different size cutting discs?
Say again?
Do they have different size cutting discs?
No, there's only the one size.
Okay.
Have you sharpened it yet?
No, I don't know how to sharpen it. Supposedly, I don't know if this is true, but the manufacturer says that when you're using one side, the other side is sharpening itself. I don't know how that works, but it seems to stay sharp.
Hey, Jim, how hard do you have to hold the tool? And does it want to run away from you? Get your hand
I would say you don't have to put a death grip on it, but you have to hold it firmly.
All right. Take your hand off the camera.
Sorry about that.
No, it looks like as with
Trouble is, I have you close to my ear because I can't hear you.
Okay.
you're using more of your body to maneuver that tool than your arms. Is that right?
I guess it's a question of how you establish your own technique. Didn't really pay much attention. I think I'm using my arms more than my body.
Okay.
Get your
It
hand
just
off.
takes a little bit of practice, but it's not that easy. It's not that difficult to learn how to use it.
All right. So it's a short learning curve.
Yeah.
Okay. Get your hand off the
But
camera.
if you're making spoons, I think it's great because it's a better alternative to the carving tools.
Yeah, for sure.
Because with the carving tools, when you're finished, you wind up doing a lot more sanding, which is never fun.
Right.
What do
And
you
that
use for a
stem,
finish on your spoons when you're done?
Say again?
What do you use for finish on your spoons when you're done?
I'll show you. I use this Butcher Block conditioner.
Yep.
Few coats. The directions tell you to heat it, which I usually do with a like a hair dryer. I put 2 or 3 coats of that, and it works out pretty well. You can see from the finish on this spoon, after I put the finish on it, I buffed it on the Beal buffing system, and it comes out really nice.
Sure does. Wow.
How does that stem attach to the grinder?
Say again?
How does the stem attach to the grinder? Is it screwed on?
It just it's threaded. It threads onto a 5/8 arbor.
Okay, so it's just threaded on. All right.
Yeah, it's simple, and I just tighten it up with an adjustable wrench.
Jim,
Uh-huh.
Jim,
Yeah.
get your hand off the camera.
Trouble is, I'm holding the camera up to my ear.
Yeah, I know, but we can't see.
Oh my God, the sound is back
That's great, right at the end.
right at the end. That figures. Unbelievable. I don't know what the hell that was all about.
All
No
right.
sound.
All right. Well, I think the spoon's great. As far as you're concerned, that was money well spent, right?
I think so. Yeah. I just did 9 of them for 9 of my nieces and nephews. My sister's got a large family, and I was able to kind of go into mass production mode.
Right. Good for you. What's the green on the handle of the spoon?
That is milk paint.
Oh,
I
cool.
think there's 2 or 3 different colors of milk paint.
Oh, good idea. That's a
I
great
think blue and yellow and green.
Oh,
And then I burnished them out. And those are, you can see that's like, they're like coves, for the handle.
yeah. I love that idea. That's a great idea. Oh,
And I initial them on the back.
Very nice. It's a instant family heirloom.
Now, how
Yeah.
do you shape the handle?
Say again?
How do you shape the handle?
All right, what you do is after I finish hollowing out this, I take it to the bandsaw and I cut out the profile. And then I mount it on the lathe using the center, and I turn the handle. I
Okay.
turn that smooth and finish it, and then I take it off and I go back to the bandsaw and I remove any excess that I can around the spoon, and I sand it out to finish it up. It takes probably about an hour to complete 1 spoon using this Arbortech tool.
Nice.
And would you use the Arbortech on the back side of the spoon for shaping too?
I never have. I never tried it. I suppose you might be able to, but I think you can get a lot of the waste cut away with the bandsaw. And then I sand it on my belt sander.
Okay, thank you.
Outstanding. Really nice project. Quick, easy project. Make 1 or 2 in an evening.
Yep.
Saturday morning. Great gift. Love it. And I love the milk paint. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's terrific.
Well, you were at the demo at Water Gap, Bob, where Kim Winkle came,
right.
and it was right after Kim Winkle did her demo that I did that spoon.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
She inspired me.
She inspired me too. I made 4 of those stools that she made.
Oh, did you really? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great project. I got to do that on Bob's Woodshop coming up here.
Yeah, you should do that. I was thinking about that the other day when I was watching one of your presentations.
Yeah.
So look, guys, I really am sorry for all the technical difficulties, and I have still no understanding why there was no sound, but it's back now. So stay la vie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a good point. So we did do a practice session a couple days ago on this, and everything was working fine, but for some reason the sound just stopped on Jim's side. But the nice thing, Jim, we could hear you perfectly and there was no echo like the other day.
Uh-huh.
So,
Well, it's interesting because I came out here at 9:30 as we had planned, and I went ahead and I got you up, but I had no sound, and I still don't know why the sound
Right.
came back. So I don't know what the deal is.
right. Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, and it's Saturday morning and it's gorgeous and I'm going to go fishing. So anyway.
Well,
you going?
a quick question for Jim is just on your spoon blank, what's the thickness of that?
I would say it's an inch. 1 inch.
The blank that you're starting with.
Yeah, 1 inch.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 inch. And then, you make your own custom size. You might want to make it a little thinner, reshape the bowl of the spoon.
All right. Hey, guys, I got a comment here. So on Monday night, Steve's going to be showing how to make a bowl out of a log. And when you cut the pith out, you have the two sides of the pith, and these are perfect quarter
Absolutely.
pieces of wood
Absolutely. Yep.
for treenware, right?
Yep.
So if you're chopping up logs, you got those two pieces on each side that you can use for this stock. So
Yep.
Yep. All right. Well, cool, Jim. Thank you very much for the preparation and showing us this tool. Hey, I had a question. I've started making some boxes. You guys might have seen my shotgun case box, and I was thinking, would you folks be interested in seeing a dovetail jig in action?
I
Sure,
would.
sure.
Yeah. I've got two. I've got the Lee, which gives you the ability to do what are called asymmetrical dovetails, ones that are not symmetric. And then I've got another one called the Peachtree fixture, and it's so easy. It makes making dovetails
Bob,
very quick. Yes.
Yes, do it
can you
clinic.
hear me, Bob? Yeah, you mentioned something about Steve showing something. You went blank.
Oh. I was talking about when you're cutting up a log and you cut off the top and the
You
bottom,
went blank
and
again.
then you're going after the pith. Can everybody else hear me? Or is it just Gil?
Yes.
All right, Gil, it's just you.
Is it?
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to wrap this up. And hey, you guys have a great day. Thanks for everybody for attending.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thanks for watching.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.